Everybody, welcome to Bill Whittle Live for Monday, the 20th of March, 2017. I'll never get over 2017. How can it possibly be 2017 already? It is. Today we're going to do a little bit briefer show. I've got to sit in for Coley & Noir at 1 o'clock Pacific, so in about an hour I got to be ready for that show. So we'll just do a quick half hour here, I think, and I think we'll take it from there. Hey, there we are. Oh my God, I can hear myself speaking on the... Yeah, go. All right, so we're going to talk about Korea today, I think, and let's get to it. So push the button there, Neil. Well, North Korea has basically said that they're going to basically, burn our cities to the ground, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. And to his credit, Rex Tillerson has said that no options are off the table, that military options on the table, all the rest of it's on the table. And I would like to just kind of weigh in on this issue because I feel like this is something I know a bit about, and I know more about lately, a lot more about it. I've been reading nonstop, honestly. I read 4 now of Victor Davis Hanson's books on warfare and history and the intersection between warfare and policy and politics and philosophy and all the rest. And I also read 2 really amazing autobiographies, or memoirs, I should say, of the Pacific War. I read Goodbye Darkness by William Manchester about his time on Okinawa, and I don't know if it was Tarawa or Pilileu, and also With the Old Breed by a guy named Sledge. I've forgotten his first 2 initials. All of this stuff is all about conflict, all about war, all about what they actually have to go through. So the reason I want to talk about North Korea today is actually pretty simple. I can sum this up in a sentence, I think. Everybody in America is worried about going to war with North Korea and Iran too, for that matter. And it's about time that we started making Iran more afraid of going to war with the United States than we are about going to war with them. The way you keep the peace is by maintaining a sense that you're ready to go at any time. We have absolutely no understanding of how powerful we truly are, especially in the eyes of the rest of the world. And so I think this is the pattern that happens. They see our military capabilities. They know what we're capable of doing. They know how much money we spend on defense, and it's absolutely boggling to everyone, including me and including them. I think it's worth every penny, needless to say, and I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of it. But if you're Iran or if you're North Korea, how do you explain this? How do you explain this unbelievable capability coupled with this timidity and loss of confidence and lack of will and lack of national pride and all the rest of it? How do you explain it? You don't explain it. There's no explanation for it except for the explanation that they come to, which happens to be the correct one, and that is that America has lost its will to defend itself, lost its will to fight, it's lost its will to make it clear to other countries that we don't want to go to war. We've never wanted to go to war, but if we have to, we will. And this is becoming so anathema now in our society, that this idea that we're just going to banish all thoughts and all talks of war and therefore banish war has got it exactly precisely backwards, as usual for the left. I think Ronald Reagan said of the 4 wars in my lifetime, none of them ever happened because America was too strong. He's absolutely right. I would feel better if people had some kind of sense of history before they made these kind of statements, because if you look at history, what you find is that warfare is not started over misunderstandings as a general rule. There's no misunderstanding really between us and Iran. We act like there is. We act as if it's a misunderstanding. We give them literally give them a pallet of cash, $800 million or whatever it was or more, and we pretend like, well, see, now that we're being nice to them, then they're going to not be so nasty. They just laugh at us, and they don't And that I don't care about. I don't much care if the people living in Iran or North Korea laugh at us, laugh at America. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They're living in this, hellhole, and we're living in what essentially is pretty near paradise. But what does bother me is when they start believing that that this weakness that we are showing is basically it. Is that this is all we are. This is all we have left of what was once a strong and proud people. Now, Kim Jong-il, or Kim Jong-un, I guess, is making threatening noises, and he's developing. He's already exploded nuclear weapons. He's improving the reliability of their missile rockets. All of this is happening incrementally, but what I have the deepest pity for the North Korean people as a general rule who are being starved to death. But here's the thing. You do not understand, and I don't understand, although I have at least a look at understanding. I can shadow on the back of the wall kind of understanding. And that's this. When you have been indoctrinated your entire life, and that's all you've ever heard, it doesn't matter how ridiculous it is, you will believe it because it's all you know. And North Koreans largely believe that they can defeat the United States, that they've been defeating us for the longest time. I remember of all the things I've ever heard, I think it was Kim Jong-il basically said that the first time he played golf, he got a hole-in-one on every hole or something like that, and and he's never played before. And the North Korean people, by and large, believe this because they don't have any choice. Of all the things that really gave me an idea of the power of indoctrination, I remember seeing a documentary on like a Doctors Without Borders kind of thing, where they went to North Korea, and a bunch of European and American doctors went in there and saved the eyesights of literally hundreds of people. Just went in there with people who had cataracts that were so severe that they couldn't see, or relatively simple optical problems. And so these American doctors go in there and give these people their eyesight. And the first thing that these people do when they see is they see a picture of their dear leader up on the wall, and they get down on their knees sobbing out of gratitude towards Kim Jong-il, who's restored sight to them. Look, whether or not they believe it or whether or not they understand that they have to do it, whether they believe it or not, is not really the issue. People get misinformed. Victor Davis Hanson has just cleared up so many things. I don't want this to sound as obnoxious as it's about to sound, but basically, after reading so much of his work, it's a nice feeling to realize that so many of these things that I've come to believe on my own seem to be backed up not only by history but by some pretty big thinkers, and certainly much more thought out than I've been on it. However, he basically says that wars don't start over misunderstandings. He's right. They start because, and it's pretty much it. I think this is really it. They start because generally dictatorships or oligarchies, but generally a monotheistic, a monolithic government with very few points of failure. In other words, not anything that's ever got a chance to be tested or criticized or so on. Dictators, more or less. Wars happen because dictators think they can win. If you think about it, and this is a profound point, if you think about it, every war that's pretty much ever been started was started by somebody who thought that they could win. I'm not aware of any war in history started by somebody who thought that they could lose. And this is a point that really bears developing because it gets to the nature of what we have to do if we want to stop a war with Korea, not actually start one. And I'm going to be just doing this sort of as policy from now on because this show tends to run too long as it is generally. So it's 10 minutes after 12, and at this point we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook friends and make the rest for members only over at BillWhittle.com. If you're watching at BillWhittle.com now, there's just a constant stream for the members, and it's all archived there as well. So so long to our Facebook friends. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. And Neil, let's just go ahead and put an end to that one, and we'll get on with the rest of this Korea.